Okay, today I just got in the mail a replacement hammer for my Masterpiece Arms 9mm gun and a little Mac clone. So I was going to replace the hammer, the broken hammer, and show how to do it. So I'll go ahead and show the steps on how to replace a hammer on one of these when it breaks. Alright, first step, you gotta always remove the magazine and then check to make sure chamber's clear. It's clear. And then after you make sure that there's no ammo loaded in it and the chamber's empty, then I like to remove all muzzle devices, whether it's the fake suppressor or a real suppressor. In this case, I am using Liberty Mystic X suppressor on it. And the next step is to remove the upper from the lower. And so to do this, there's the front pin I like to remove first. There's a side that has a hole in it, and there's a smaller pin that is with a detent in there. And so you can take like a Phillips screwdriver or flathead smaller screwdriver, and you stick it in there and kind of push it out. You can see it sticks out a little bit, the smaller pin, and you just pull that out. So after you pull out that smaller pin, then what you want to do is push out the larger pin. Sometimes you can just push it out with your fingers. Just push it down in there, and then on the other side you can grab it, use your fingernails a little bit, and pull that out. So after the front pins are removed, then it should just come apart like that. After you have the upper half separated from the lower half, then you got to remove this little, I don't know what it's called, like a horseshoe pin or clip. And you could use 2 screwdrivers, or they actually sell a little tool that makes it really easy to do it, but I've not bought that yet, and I don't think I ever will. But you can use 2 screwdrivers, but you might scratch the finish a little bit. So I have these old plastic things that I use to work on, like electronics. But the idea is to push on this and pry that off. Let's see. Okay, and make sure it doesn't go flying. So this is what that looks like. So after you get that removed, then the hammer is really easy to, or not the hammer, the pin holding the hammer, you just, on this side, you just pull that out. And then there should be a little spacer piece that will come out. That's this little piece. And then the hammer, you can pull the hammer out. So the hammer will come out. You can see this one. This is the older design of hammer. It has this little piece right here, and part of that snapped off probably when I was doing some bump firing. But the newer design of hammer is just a solid one-piece hammer, and design much stronger and better. And so the other one, the new one, if you look at it, let's see, you can see it's a solid piece, and then on that side, solid piece, much stronger. Anyway, so we're going to be putting this new hammer in. So you got to take off these springs, and there's 2 of them, and you just kind of pull that off, and then you can put it on the new hammer. take it off the old hammer, put it on the new hammer. So that's what it should look like with the new hammer and springs on. So when you're putting it back together, then you take this the hammer pin, and let's see if I can show. First you place this hammer, and you put it so it lines up with the hole as best as you can. There's not too much stress on it because the spring is kind of depressed a little bit, but you just start pushing that hammer pin through, and then once you get it inside the hammer, then you put this spacer on the other side, and then you line that up and push it through. Okay, so once it's through like that, you know, hammer depressed, then you can flip it over and put this clip back on, the horseshoe looking clip. And to put that back on, I just take one of these, whether it's a screwdriver or one of these things, and you just push it on till it clips. And that's what holds this hammer pin in. So you can see it works. And when you're putting this back together, you want to make sure that you cock the hammer back, because it won't fit when you're, if it's already what do you call it, uncocked or whatever. So cock the hammer back, then you take your upper and slide it down and in like that, and then you can push, make sure it's all the way in, push that bigger pin in, and then on the other side you push that smaller pin in. And then you can test the functionality. Go ahead, cock it, pull the trigger, cock it, pull the trigger. So this works. And let's see. Yeah, so old hammer gone, and replacement hammer in. All right. If you have any questions, send me a message on the comment section. Thanks.